you love watching art videos? I love watching art videos so much, I decided I wanted to start making them myself. But do you have any idea how much work goes into making them? The good news is that almost anyone can make an art video. Really all you need are something to film with and something to draw with. The better news is that I'm going to share my entire process of how I create an art video, and hopefully you'll find something helpful. I'll take you from start to finish with how I make my content, from the brainstorming portion, the script writing, the lighting and filming setup, the video and music editing process, and finally the uploading and posting process. A portion of this video is sponsored by Uppbeat, but we'll talk about that later. So what's first? Well, I have to decide what I want to make my video about. I do have a list of ideas that I'm trying to work through. Admittedly, there are some things I'm getting behind on, but nevertheless. What I'll be working on today is under a bit more of a time crunch because I was challenged by the channel Artsy Christy to do a 5-minute watercolor landscape challenge, and so that's the video I'll be showing you how I made today. Now, we all know that this is not a tutorial channel. I'm learning just as much as you are, so of course the first thing I do when I'm making a video is I start researching my topic. So I look and watch some different videos on watercolor landscapes in particular, and of course Artsy Christy's video was a gem because I got to see how she approached this challenge, and I also watched the video of the original creator of the challenge. This next step is something I'm trying to incorporate more into my videos. I've been learning more and more that a good video that will keep people interested will tell a good story. And stories have a beginning, a middle, and an end. So that's what my video needs to have. And that sounds really simple, but it's kind of difficult, for me at least. So I'll start with what I want to happen in the beginning of the video. What I'm learning is a good way to catch people's attention and keep it is to make it interesting and relatable. Since I already know what I'm going to be painting in the video, now I have to think, what about this topic is my viewer gonna find interesting? Now, some people just like to watch other people draw. I enjoy that and that's totally fine. But sometimes people want to learn or, gain something from a video when they watch it. So the idea of a 5-minute painting challenge really resonated with me because it's like, okay, I'm only gonna spend 5 minutes on this. That is not a long period of time. What can I even get done in 5 minutes? And that kind of inspired the little skit at the beginning where I cycle through some different things that you could try to do in 5 minutes, but most likely would not be able to. And in the viewer's mind, a landscape painting might be right up there with all those other tasks and thinking, there's no way I could do that in 5 minutes. Then as they continue watching the video, they'll see that I did in fact complete the challenge and get 4 paintings done. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen the video, I did get 4 landscape paintings done, spending only 5 minutes each. Granted, they're not masterpieces, but that's not the point of the challenge. You're not trying to paint a masterpiece in 5 minutes. That would be a different challenge. You're just trying to paint a simple landscape. All of that to say that hopefully the little skit in the beginning will have a little bit of comedy and relatability that the viewer will hook onto, and they'll want to keep watching the video to see what happens. And they will see that indeed I did complete the challenge, and that just might give them the gumption to get their own paints out and see what they can do with no pressure of making something perfect. Now, with all of this information, I sit down and I try to build a script based on this idea. This one was kind of tricky though because I did want to include some real-time painting footage of me and none of that was scripted. Because if you didn't know, it's incredibly hard to focus on painting something in only 5 minutes and try to remember a script that you wrote. But I did make sure in my real-time painting process to mention things that I wanted to mention and then left the rest for the beginning and the end of the video. In fact, I used some of those same tactics in the beginning of this video. I wanted to open with a question or a thought that would connect to my viewer, that you could relate to. Do you love watching art videos? So, do you love art videos? Have you ever wanted to make one? I'll show you how I make mine. Continue watching to find out more. Now, hopefully the beginning was intriguing enough that you decided to continue watching on your own because I don't want to tell you what to do. Okay, I have my script written and my art supplies I need ready to go. Now I'm ready to prep my filming setup. For the majority of my filming, I use my Nikon Coolpix B500, but I also have a Logitech USB webcam that I sometimes use for different angle shots. My Nikon is situated on a boom arm that is attached to a separate table because when it's attached to my desk, it wiggles around with the slightest touch. You can see how this white phone holder wiggles because it's attached to my desk. That would result in some pretty shaky footage, and it has in the past. You live and you learn. For my lighting, I do have an overhead light, but I also use 2 desk studio lights that are set up on each of my desk corners. This one came in a set of 2, and they came with some color changing sheets, but I'm only using one, and I opted for this other lamp because it's dimmable, you can change the color of the light, and it's bendy so I can swivel it to shine on me when I'm sitting at the other end of my desk filming talking heads. Speaking of, my desk setup is actually 2 different desks pushed together. You work with what you have. If you want a more in-depth desk or studio tour, then leave a like on this video and let me know in the comments down below. So now I'm ready to film my art. It's a matter of keeping things in frame, keeping my rechargeable batteries charged up for when my camera inevitably dies, and making sure there is plenty of space on my SD card. When it comes to the footage I use, a top-down view of the art is always a great option. Sometimes I do move my boom arm a little bit to resituate my camera just to get a bit of a different angle, just to change it up. But it's totally fine to only use one angle. You want to try to not have too many cast shadows that can be distracting, and try to have good lighting so your viewers can see your art. Now normally when I'm filming my art, I don't worry if my kids are running around screaming like wild banshees or the TV is on too loud in the background, because I will just record voiceovers or talking heads separately and then lay them over my art footage. For this 5-minute watercolor challenge, I did want to include some real-time footage of me talking as I'm painting, so I could either wait until everyone is in bed like I normally do when I film talking head videos, or I ask my husband to do something with the kids and keep them occupied and out of my hair, which is what's happening right now. They're all back there watching a movie. With it being a time challenge, it was just really important that I didn't get distracted so that I could stay in the zone. Once all the art is done and I've taken all the pictures I need for it for Instagram, Twitter, Discord, now would be the time to record any voiceovers or talking head footage that I want to lay over my art footage, which is exactly what I'm doing now, filming a talking head. When I'm recording voiceovers or if I'm recording a talking head clip, which is just a way to say that I am on camera and my head is talking. Kind of a weird way to explain it, but I sit at the end of my desk here with my cute little background behind me with twinkling lights that I love. 2 lights that are facing me. One of them is that bendy light that I was talking about, and the other one is a dimmable studio light that stands up really tall so I can adjust it. I use OBS to record talking heads and voiceovers. It's a free software. I highly recommend it. I use a $30 USB microphone, which means it just plugs into my computer, and I'm also filming with my Logitech webcam, which is also USB. This way, as I'm sitting at my desk and looking at my camera, recording myself, I have my computer here that I can look at myself on screen to make sure that I'm centered and that everything looks exactly how I want it to look. I would record my talking heads on my Nikon camera, but it doesn't have one of those little flippable screens, so I can't see myself as I'm recording, and when I've tried it before, I've either been off-centered or something looks weird or something happens, and so it's just easier to use the Logitech one. Like I said earlier, this part of the process is something that I usually wait to do until after my family has gone to sleep at night, or on the rare occasion that they're out of the house for a couple hours, or like right now they're busy in the bedroom watching a movie. Because even though I'm working off of a script, I still want to try to sound natural and sound like, you know, I'm talking to a person and not a camera. So if I continue to get interrupted or have to get up and do something or help somebody clean up some milk that they spilt, it can be really hard to get back into that headspace and get back onto the flow of what I was talking about. That's just my own personal experience and what works for me at this time. You may not have to deal with any of that, so just find what works for you. So now all the art is done, the recording is done, the voiceover is filmed, all the footage I need to put this video together is finished. Now it's time for my least favorite part. Some creators love editing and they make that known, the whole putting together process of the video. I do not. I mean, that's not entirely true. I get excited about the editing process when I think of a little funny joke or meme or something that I can insert, or if the music flows really nicely. But like, editing as a whole would definitely be the first thing I outsourced if I could afford it. What is it, Ben?
Remember, you're doing a video about editing, even though you hate editing, and you'll have to edit this video about editing.
Thank you. Since I can't afford outsourcing, here's how I get by. I use a software called Wondershare Filmora. It comes with a ton of features and it's super easy to use. I do have the paid version, which was like $60 for a lifetime license. But you can use the free version of Filmora, which just leaves a tiny little watermark on your video. Even though I'm using the paid version, they still have what they call premium elements. Not sure why I use quotes, but they're just extra things that you can pay extra for, but I've never felt the need to use any of them. The basics of editing that I do are rough cuts, like the cutting out of dead air or speaking mistakes and stuff like that. I can add image or text overlays where I want them, maybe some fun transitions, maybe some fun little elements or effects. Now let's add some music. This portion of the video is sponsored by Uppbeat. Uppbeat is a music platform that offers free music and sound effects for creators, and they guarantee you'll have no YouTube copyright issues or worries of being demonetized. You can use Uppbeat on any platform: YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Patreon, the list goes on. What I like about Uppbeat is that it has this fun little carousel system that's broken up into different categories of types of music you could be looking for. And down at the very bottom are all of the categories listed together. I've used songs from Uppbeat in several of my videos, and you'll always know because I will leave a link to the song that I used in the description of my videos. I will show you how easy this is. I want something fun and upbeat. See what I did there? So I'm going to look at the Uppbeat category. There's already a list of songs here that I can listen to and choose from, but one of my favorite features on this site are the smart filters. There is energy, vocals, and duration, and you can see on screen the different option that you have for these filters. So maybe for one section of the video, I want something that has an energetic energy, maybe something with just instrumentals, and maybe about 3 to 5 minutes long. Now I have a list of songs I can listen to see if any of them fit the vibe I'm looking for. Any song with a star means you have to be a premium member to download it, but you can still listen to it to see if you like it. There is a free and premium version like most things these days. For $6.99 a month, you get access to all the music and sound effects available, and your channel or platform or whatever gets whitelisted, which means you'll never have to worry about a copyright strike. With the free version, you are limited to 10 downloads per month, which honestly has been fine for me, but you still have access to a ton of songs. All you have to do is copy the link that Uppbeat provides when you download a song and then toss that into your description or video info wherever you're using the music. I like to save it to the notepad on my computer as I'm downloading them so that I can just save that and then copy and paste it all into my video description later when I'm uploading. So I have a mix of music from Uppbeat and Filmora that I put on my timeline, and with a few tweaks, the video is ready to export. Here's a little bonus nugget of knowledge that has saved me literally hours of agony. When I first started uploading art videos to YouTube, as soon as the video would get done exporting, I would immediately go to upload it to YouTube. Now, the internet that we had at the time was incredibly slow. We were getting like half a megabyte of upload speed, which I'm pretty sure is less than they're legally allowed to sell us. That's just how slow it was in our area. And so a 15-minute video would take like 70 hours to upload. Okay, maybe not that long, but it would literally take at least a full day for a very short video to upload. Back then we had CenturyLink and we were basically at the end of the line, and the guy told us that we were barely inside their service area. Well, now we have Viasat, which is a satellite internet, and that's a whole nother bowl of worms, but anyways, I was talking with some art friends online about how frustrating it was that my art videos took so long to upload, and it was Jenna from Jenna Gets Creative who told me about a program called Handbrake. Now, I don't know all the technical jargon about how it works, but basically Handbrake is a free software that will compress the videos to a smaller size without losing the quality. And so now after I export from Filmora, when I'm done editing, I will run the video through Handbrake, which has a cute little pineapple on it, by the way. And then once that's finished, I can upload that file on YouTube, and it will take me maybe 30 minutes for a 15-minute video, you know, depending on the length of the video, but much, much quicker. Now it's time to upload the video. The main things to focus on when uploading a video are thumbnail, title, description, in that order. I'm trying to learn how to make my thumbnails more simplified and able to tell a story of what my video is about in the fastest way possible, and I have gotten so much help from some really talented YouTubers on how to make my thumbnails better. Sometimes I use Procreate to make my thumbnails, but other times I will use Canva because it's free and super easy to use. Of course, you can upload your own files, but they also have a lot of great elements that you can use. For my 5-minute watercolor challenge thumbnail, I had an immediate idea of showing the finished art and then overlaying like a timer showing 5 minutes, and I was hoping that it would indicate that I completed this amazing work of art in this tiny amount of time, and that would be intriguing to a viewer, because most artists know that art takes a lot of time. Having a strong thumbnail is really important because it is the first thing that the viewer is going to see, but it's also really important to have a good title. Once I'm happy with my title, then I can work on the description portion. This is a great place to put whatever you want to talk about regarding the video. It's good to use lots of keywords that relate to your video, but in a very natural way. Then down in the tag section, you can add whatever tags are relevant to your video and maybe some common misspellings that someone might make when searching your video topic. And that's it. Now you post your video and hope for the best. In all honesty, I still have so much to learn when it comes to this whole YouTube thing. I still have a lot of work to do when it comes to my video storytelling and my production quality. But I am very thankful to those of you who do watch my videos and have been here to see my journey unfold. It's the last month of 2022. I hit 1,000 subscribers this year, which is amazing. And I'm really going to try to work on leveling up my content and hitting 2,000 subscribers in 2023. If you want to see how my 5-minute watercolor painting video turned out, you can click right here. Or if you've already seen that, I created a playlist on my channel. You can click right here so you can see for yourself how far I've come since I started making art videos in 2019. Have fun! Why do I feel like I blink so much? Which is plenty of art Bro! Wave your arms as crazy as you can, up high. Arms up high. That's right, act crazy, act crazy.